got it on 2K Sports for Wednesday night action in the NBA. Kevin Harlan here along with Clark Kellogg and Greg Anthony. Western Conference battles always fun. This time it's the Los Angeles Lakers intent on Angeles with some changes. Larry Nance is checked in for Bass. Williams comes in for Nick Young. And it's Williams in for Kobe. And a switcher also for Utah. Burks is checked in. So on the floor for Utah. Favors and Gobert, the shot-blocking duo inside. Burks the off guard with Hayward at the 3.
Now a chance, Kevin, to take a look at how the Jazz fared over the last month. First in opponent field goal shooting. Second in opponent points per game. And they're in the top 10 in fewest turnovers per game. And they really do emphasize taking care of the ball.
And go back to their top-notch defense. They just smother you and impose their will on you. A lot of nights it seems like teams don't even know what hit them.
Well, taking a look at Lou Williams last year, kind of a typical year for him, a lot of scoring on bad efficiency.
Yeah, and for Lou, he did make it over the 40% field goal mark, but just barely.
Just barely, you're right.
And you can't help but pick their defense apart. They're completely in disarray.
Well, everything's coming too easily. I mean, at some point defensively, you have to take something away.
Clarkson, he's checked in for Russell. And Utah also making a switch. Max checked in. The Lakers haven't yet missed a free throw. 5 for 5.
And the Executive of the Year award is an odd one. I mean, given yearly to the executive that was deemed to have had the best year with their roster, that is perhaps the hardest thing to evaluate.
Lakers leading by 14. Outside Williams. Passes it to Clarkson. Williams dishes to Williams. Tries from 10. Uses the glass to pop it in. Williams has got 5 now. And for the Executive of the Year award, it's hard to evaluate because for GMs, Clark, it takes years of moves to reach a certain point.
Yeah, it's an annual award, but it's awarded for years of decisions, if that makes any sense. One big signing or trade isn't quite enough to win the award.
Clock at 6. Here's Burks. He squares up and sinks it. For the Utah Jazz, they won their last contest, that game against Dallas.
And were able to overcome what was a really poor shooting night. And you're not going to be able to win with a percentage as low as theirs that often unless you defend.
No style points earned for sure, Greg, in that game. But they did hit the big shots when they needed them. And oftentimes it's not what you do as much as when you do it.
All right, let's go over to the sideline with Doris Burke.
Well, the head coach for the Jazz gave me a few moments to catch up with him. We talked about the keys in preparing for this game, and he said, well, defense is always our first priority. And while we don't want our shot blockers risking foul trouble, having that backstop does enable our perimeter guys the freedom to play up and aggressive. So, Kevin, pressure D and shot blocking, something to look out for.
Okay, thank you, Doris. And the defensive approach, guys, how do you think that'll play out here?
You know, sounds like they'd like to keep this a low-scoring affair. This could be one of those grind-it-out kind of games.
And I'm sure that would suit them just fine.